Okay. Thank you very much.
If you don't have Greg, how well has he been playing in the slot for you this season so far? And do you feel good about Cam or whoever else we play?
Yeah, Cam's had to come in and play for us in the past. He's been reliable to do his job. Come in some situations where he hasn't got a lot of practice reps and gone in. And if he has to play this week, he'll have gotten a lot of practice reps. And I think I'll stay in my theme of evaluating all our players as 4 and 3.
You mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, how you weren't pleased with the red zone defense, and then obviously gave up some more touchdowns against Seattle. What do you see that's not getting done down there that you think needs to be done?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we have to stop people from running the ball across our goal line. If we're going to take pride in being a physical defense, that starts with run defense. And, it gets accentuated in the red zone. The field shrinks a little bit, and we have to do a better job of stopping the run. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Does it matter to you who plays quarterback for them? Two guys who haven't played all year?
Well, yeah. It matters who's playing, who's playing left guard. It matters who's playing wide receiver. We're going to take it all into consideration. I think that, we have 8 games of their offense on film. And with Dobbsy running it, they ran a lot of quarterback runs, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's anything different with Kyler Murray if he plays. And I would expect, if the rookie plays, for them to, stay with what they've done. I don't imagine that they would change entire game plan just for one guy. I think there was a reason that they wanted to fit Dobbs into that role. So, we're going to look at the scheme. We're going to take into account players' individual strengths and weaknesses as we put our scheme together. But we'll be ready, whatever they decide to do.
He's a big guy. Does he run the same stuff?
Well, he didn't in the preseason. They ran the offense, but he didn't run a lot of the quarterback runs. But a lot of teams don't run those quarterback runs in the preseason, right? Well, they have it. They have a lot of stuff on tape from the first 8 games, and so we're going to prepare for that scheme, and then we're going to prepare for the individual talents of players. So Toon played a lot in the preseason, threw a lot of passes, so we have pretty good evaluation of that stuff, and we have, like I said, we have 8 games of what they do on offense, and we just got to melt those together if that's the guy. If it's another guy, then, we have to melt it together with the individual strengths and weaknesses of that player. So.
How good was the Murray's first interception on tape, and just how good has he been for you guys this year?
Yeah, Mo's been, I don't want to say a pleasant surprise because he's been a good player. He had a setback with injuries the last few years and had a hard time getting started in training camp because of some injuries. But now that he's healthy, he's really made good strides. He's attacked before. He was with San Fran, so he's played in the scheme before. So his development probably a little bit ahead of some other guys that have never done it before. Gives us some pass rush, and that was just a really outstanding play. We sort of sandwiched really good play with really poor play. We started off the first 3 series, and we had a lot of fires to put out. We made a few adjustments, and we sort of found our stride, and we went 7 series of playing about as good a defense as you can play, like punt, punt, interception, punt, interception, punt. And then it was just so disappointing to leave it there at the end of the game. Our offense needed us the most right there after an interception. They needed us the most, and we didn't get the job done. So we feel tremendous responsibility for that. But the more plays we can make like Mo made, and an interesting thing with that, he had never practiced that position. We had some injuries with Zadarius and some other guys, and we had sort of mix and matched our defensive line guys, and he went in and, at most he had gotten mental reps on that blitz, but went in and executed it really well, and then athletically made a really good catch. But, we need more of that. We need more of that middle of the game. We can't be a feast or famine defense. That's not a way to play That's not a way to play defense. And, you know, our run game was feast and famine too. You know, we played, you know, most of our snaps really good in the run game, but then we give up 3 big plays in the run game. And that's not going to get it done. That's not where we want to be. That's not where we need to go to take this team where we want to go.
You weren't getting any turnovers. You were worried that if you start going for them, that's what you don't want to see. So now you're getting the turnovers and the tackling is falling off. Did you fall victim to what you feared?
No, not in those cases, Tone. I mean, like Mo was doing his job in the scheme. You know, MJ was doing his job in the scheme, playing really good technique. But I think you did see some examples of it. Some of the gaps in our run game were us chasing boots, and our eyes got distracted. Instead of doing our job in the run game, we were trying to make a sack, and hard to get a sack on a run play. So, you know, so I think that, you know, we have had to guard against that. And, you know, I think that there is there's a fine line between, you know, doing your job and then trying to do too much. And we've talked about that ad nauseum in here and, you know, everywhere else. You know, if we just do our job, if we just be us the best that we can be, the plays will come to us. We don't need to hunt plays. And, you know, we can make those. I was disappointed in the game that, you know, we missed 2 or 3 sacks. I think that really could have changed the complexion of that game. And we can't now change personality because we missed those sacks. We just got to finish those plays when they come up next time, as opposed to trying to do something different. And, you know, I think that, you know, it's probably a tale as old as time, from, you know, Pee Wee to high school to college to NFL, you know, where, you know, playing your job and letting the plays come to you, as opposed to, you know, trying to, and not it's not like our guys trying to play outside the scheme or anything else. It's, all right, I see this split, this is what route's coming. And instead of anticipating and playing your technique, all of a sudden you can jump things a little too much, and then you end up with feast or famine football. But for the most part, I don't think that was the thing in this game. We just had a hard time getting started. Took us a few series to really find some footing. We changed an awful lot in those first 3 series, and I was really proud of the guys because they really found their footing. But then the way we ended that game was extremely disappointing for all of us.
About that, the starts. Highsmith, I know from the Steelers, got that 1 touchdown, but still, you guys are giving up more points in the first quarter than any other quarter. So, do you have an explanation for that, or what can be done to get better starts?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at a lot of ways. Maybe we make really good adjustments. Yeah, you know, we talk about starting fast, but, you know, you're going to have things when a game's new that an offense is doing something maybe a little bit different, and we have to make adjustment to what that is. I think in those first series, we just have to play our technique and our responsibility, and if we do that, like our message is, that's enough. If we do those things, so you know, there's always. I mean, the game is 60 minutes long. Seasons now are 17 plus weeks. There's going to be a lot of adjustments and ebbs and flows of a season, right? You know, there's going to be things that an offense does that try to take advantage of what you do, and then, you know, and then the defense takes countermeasures, and then the offense. I mean, that's a constant thing throughout a season, but also throughout a game. But yeah, we need to start better. We need to start faster, and we need to stop the run. In the games that we've stopped the run, we played really well. In games that we've been leaky in the run game, whether it was this last one giving up a few big plays, or a game like the Colts where we just gave up a lot of smaller gains, but we didn't control the run game. Baltimore, we didn't control the run game. When we control the run game, good things happen for us on defense, and that's our focus.
Headsay, knowing your personnel so well, and then Jonathan Gannon having taken over for you in Philadelphia and probably knowing a lot of the nuances of your scheme. Do you just do what you do, or do you have to change up some of your looks and fronts to kind of cross them up a bit?
Well, he was here too, so we have a lot of experience in our building with him too. So that probably works both ways. You know, I'm sure all my playbooks were on the server when I left Philadelphia. But, you know, people change terminology. They, you know, adapt to their players. What we're doing now is probably about maybe 40 or 50% different than what we did in Philadelphia. Not just because we have different players, but because the league goes through ebbs and flows and, you know, different things like that. So, you know, and we also have a significant number of different faces on defense. So, you know, when it's all said and done, it might help with a little bit of preparation, might make our preparation a little bit easier at times. But when it comes down to it, it's Sunday. It's going out and performing and executing and playing, you know, physical and playing with effort and playing with some passion for the game.
Last one.
You were in not being able to get that last stop after the interception. What did you identify as what was the biggest issue?
Yeah, well, it was the one play missing a tackle. You know, they throw a short pass. We end up in zone on that play, and you know, we had you know, played a good technique in the zone to force him to throw a 3 or 4 yard and then missed tackle, and that put him in field goal range. And then all of a sudden they're in field goal range, and you know, the game completely changes. So that's probably, and you know, the exact same thing happened to us in San Fran. San Fran was man, right? But you know, it got a completion, and when we're going to do some more stuff in some 2-minute situations in practice. You know, and just add to our periods a little bit more, because when the game's on the line like that, we have to perform better. All right, guys.